So Aruga makes vascular graft implants used for bypassing a diseased vessel in patients. Unfortunately, what happens with many of the grafts that are on the market today is they accumulate clots and other platelets that are in the bloodstream and they end up failing. Our grafts are intended to remain in the patient in a healthy setting for longer periods of time. Patients, once they receive a vascular bypass graft, really only have about 2 or 3 years before a complication occurs with that graft. What we've done is we have a nature-inspired design to this new kind of vascular graft that is going to multiply the length that it can be in a patient and optioning well 2 or 3-fold. What we've observed is that as the heart beats, the inside walls of our arteries don't remain smooth. They actually wrinkle like an accordion between flat and very corrugated. We've been able to incorporate this design into synthetic materials that we use to bypass the diseased vessel. So what that does is this wrinkling formation, you can almost imagine if you had something stuck to your hand and you just tried to wrinkle it off. What it does is it creates a physical, mechanical inhibition at that interface that doesn't allow platelets and other clot to accumulate on the surface and pose problems. The innovation space around cardiovascular implants has been dominated by 8 major companies using the exact same technologies for decades. What we've introduced is a novel design of the implant that is engineered to work with the body rather than be a damage control replacement. The current vascular graft market is valued at about $2 billion, in which Aruga Technology will certainly be competitive in. But what we're really excited about is the coronary artery bypass market, which is valued at $6 billion, in which our solution would introduce, one, the ability to do the surgeries with synthetics that are very convenient, but we would also dramatically reduce the rehospitalization cost per each patient because of the long-term performance solution we're introducing. We chose dialysis access intervention as our go-to-market strategy as a first application, realizing that there's a step ladder in terms of our technology making the biggest impact, especially from a startup. We're identified dialysis access as an easy access point. We're going to get short-term efficacy data out from our animal trials, also a quicker pathway through the FDA and a 510(k) approval, and we're ultimately going to use those revenues and momentum to reach that coronary artery bypass graft market that I spoke of before. Our current traction is that we're working in LifeX, a world-class life sciences incubator here in Pittsburgh. Yeah, so my team is my co-founder, Luka Pocivavchek. He's a vascular surgeon, and he works at the University of Chicago. We met while he was doing his residency at the University of Pittsburgh. He's the inventor and mastermind, and he found me as the engineer that was going to bring the materials along with his invention of a novel vascular graft together to form Aruga.